I'm gonna start demonstrating how to chain down a suicide coil. As I was explaining to you earlier, your suicide coil, if it breaks loose, it's gonna come forward. So that means it's gonna come at you. DOT specifies that you must have 80% of your securement pulling towards the rear. So you're actually, when I'm done, you're actually gonna see that I have more chains pulling away from me than towards me, just in case if this thing does decide to break loose for whatever reason. Okay, and the reason why I want 8 chains on these coils, because they're the most dangerous things that we load. Okay, so you maximize all the chains that you can use to secure this load, and you'll minimize, you know, far as this coil going anywhere. Okay, so your first chain will always be your seating chain. That will go straight down the middle of this coil. When you're loading this coil, if it's just one coil, you want to make sure this pocket is right split in the half of this coil, because your first chain is going to come out and it's going to hit this pocket right here. Okay, so that is important when you lining your coils up. Don't line them up here or back here in between your pockets. Line that coil, the eye of that coil, right with this pocket. All right, so I'm here now, get ready to throw my first chain through. You're gonna have to use metal edge protectors on these, which this is your metal edge protector, okay? So you wanna make sure that you put these in to protect the inside of your coil so the chain won't bite down in your coil, okay, and create damage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just throw my chain through, and then I'm gonna put my edge protectors in. Now, you're gonna have to run a teardrop, and I'm gonna show you that as well, okay? On the first one, it's neutral. You could either point your hook that way, okay, or you can point your hook towards the front. I typically point my hook on the first chain towards the back, because everything from here back, all my hooks are going to face towards the rear. When you're throwing your chains through, always say clear, because you might have another driver working on the other side. Clear. So now I'm gonna hook up my teardrop. I make sure that I put the hook on the link that does not have the welded side to it, okay? So typically, right here in the center, you may have to drop your links down a little bit. You just want to make sure the bottom of this hook is not touching the deck, just in case vibration may make your chain loose. So I'm going to get my binder. Okay, so you'll pull all your slack. If you're starting on this side, you'll pull all your slack through. So I know I want my binder to be on the top, okay? So I'm gonna rotate it over so I can reach it when I snap it. Just come up a little bit. A little less than a 90 is tight enough. So now I'm gonna just lock my binder down. All I'm doing is grabbing the end of my cheater bar, and I'm gonna just come back. I'm gonna walk it back. Okay? Once you do that, then you just seat the handle. All right? Now it's tight. Okay? So now I'm going to put my second chain. Your second chain, just like we teach you in class, will always go to the rear, okay? So, and also you're gonna alternate the binders. You don't wanna have two binders next to each other. So my next binder, I'm gonna snap on the other side, okay? So I'm gonna just throw my chain through. So as you start spreading out, your teardrops are going to get a little bit bigger. This is your teardrop. You must come all the way around underneath the pocket and back on the top. We want the hooks on the top of the link, just like you see here. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a little trick to keep your edge protectors from moving while you're snapping your binder. So, you know that this binder is going to be snapped on this side. So all you do is pull all your slack this way. Okay? And you grab a bungee. All you gotta do is grab a bungee, pull your chain, and you wanna be on the same angle as your pocket because it'll keep your edge protectors from moving. So all you do is just come here and kind of hook it to the reg whirl just to get it in place, and then you can readjust your edge protectors because you could be in the middle a little bit, just slide it up. Come back on this side. You can see right here where I just want to move this one up a little bit, and it's not that tight that I can't adjust it because I have the bungee holding it. So now all I gotta do is just come over and snap the binder. Well, I got a ratchet binder, I'm gonna use it. So you pretty much want to stay on this same angle. Okay? So all you do is just get your binder, set it. And you can see you're still on the same angle as your pocket. Now using these ratchet binders, all you gotta do is just tighten them up with your hand first. Then you can just turn your hook over, like such. You still got your butt edge protector where you can just slide, readjust your chain. Now I can take my bungee off. So what I'm doing now is, you know, you got to tighten it this way, okay? So I'm gonna push my button in and lay my binder down, okay? And all I do is just wrap my chains up. I can use the same bungee I had from holding it in place, okay? And wrap my chain up with it. Okay? Voila. Nice and tight. All right? So now we gotta get chain 3. As you can see, we set it up where the hook is going to face towards the front. Okay? So all I'm going to do is get me another bungee, pull my chain. I got all the slack. I'm going to stay on the same angle as my pocket. Now I can adjust my edge protector where I want it. Okay? It's just a temporary hold, so when you get ready to ratchet your binder, your edge protectors won't move. And as you can see, we alternated the binders. Your edge protectors are in place, okay? And you started on this side, you went to chain 2, chain 3, okay? Like I said, once you start moving outward, your teardrop's gonna get a little bigger. So now I'm going to put my 4th chain in, but before that, I'm gonna make sure I wrap up my loose chain on my first one. So all I'm gonna do is just wrap it around and bungee it. This also keeps your chain in place, and you wrap it around your binder handle, and it keeps it solid, so it won't come out. I'm gonna get me a chain, throw it through. My binder is gonna be on this side, okay? Because I can't have 2 binders next to each other. All right, so I'm gonna grab my chain. Again, I know my binder is coming here on this side, so I'm gonna pull all my slack. I'm gonna grab my bungee. I'm not worried about the edge protectors yet. I just want to get my slack so I can adjust my bungee. So all I'm gonna do now is just grab my excess, pull it through. I can adjust it a little bit. Bungee still in place. All I'm doing is just readjusting it. No less than a 90 is fine. Seat it, take your bungee off, and you just wrap your chain up as you go. Now you got your 4th chain in. Your number 5 chain is going to be towards the front. So as you can see, we alternated our binders. We started on this side, then number 2 binder went on the other side. And then number 3 went on the other side. They're not next to each other. Number 4 had to come to this side, okay? Number 5, the binder is going to be on this side. So I ran my number 5 chain through. Now what I did was I make sure this chain is towards the bottom of the edge protector, because I'm gonna end up running 2 chains in there. When I get to the number 7 chain, I'm gonna run it right next to it. This way, you don't have to add another edge protector, and it'll already be set. As you can see, I had to use a longer bungee to keep this edge protector in place. So now I'm gonna go ahead and secure it. All I'm doing is just turning it over. That's all I'm doing. Got it nice and tight. Lock it back so it won't go backwards, and then wrap your chain around and button it. Good and tight. Now we're going to run our number 6 chain, okay? So, what I'm getting ready to demonstrate and show you guys, and ladies, this is an instructor on the yard. Her name is Carrie. She did flatbed for us for 6 years. She didn't use the ratchet binder. She used all the snap binders. So she's going to show you ladies that's out there that you're strong enough to snap these binders, and your chain will be tight enough. All right, Carrie? Wrap the excess up. So now we got 6 chains. Like I said, anything over 30,000 pounds, you're gonna put 8 chains and 6 coil wraps. Okay. What we did was, on the number 5 chain and the number 6 chain, we got the chain towards the bottom of the edge protector, because we're gonna run 2 chains through there. These edge protectors are already set, so you don't have to put no bungees on it to hold it in place. This is why we're going to run 2 chains through it, and it already will hold your edge protector in place. You don't even have to worry about it. All you have to do is just bind it. All right, so now we already got our edge protector, okay? We're going to put our 7 chain through. We don't have to worry about setting it. It's already set. So we're going to run the chain through. So what I want to do is to show you guys, all I did was just ratchet it with my hand, got it snug. So I want to keep my hook up as much as possible. Sometimes it rolls over a little bit, but you'll be okay. But you can just put your bar in here like such. All right, put your foot on it, turn it over here, and ratchet. Bunge it. Chain nice and tight. So now I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how to do an extension chain. Because when we run this teardrop on the other side and run it through this edge protector here, it's going to run short. So we have to create an extension chain. So I know my chain is not going to reach this pocket, okay? So, and I know my binder is going to be on this side. So you have to start over there, okay? Get you a nice big teardrop, and Carrie's going to run the chain through the edge protector that's already set, and I'm going to show you how to hook this chain up and make an extension chain. So as you can see, this chain runs short, so I cannot run a teardrop to hook this chain up, okay? So I'm gonna have to create an extension chain. So I'm gonna get another chain and run a teardrop around here, and then I'm gonna hook the two. So when you're hooking these two chains together, you're gonna put your top of the binder hook on your chain that's short. So just pull it, you come up some, hook it up. Then you keep it hooked, you just then you take your extension chain, okay, bring it up. Now you got your extension chain, okay? All you gotta do is just take this loose chain here, wrap it around your binder. All right, all you gotta do with the rest of it is just run it across and back over and hook it up. Go ahead, Karen. Just run it straight across. Come back. And just put a bungee on it. And that's how you get your extension chain. Okay, so we started with number one, all right? Like I said, what I do is have my seating chain, which is your number one chain, pointing to the rear, okay? Then you're gonna put your number two chain. And if you start your binder on this side, you're gonna bind on the opposite side because you want alternating pulls. Then you go 3, the binder is going to be on the other side, okay, because you want alternating pulls as well. And then you're just going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? And this is how it's supposed to look.